Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show. I am your host, the Big Guy Ryback. Thank you for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Streaming live on Instagram, the Big Guy Ryback 22. Guys, swing on over here to @Ryback on Twitter. Twitter Spaces, where you could join and be a part of the show. The ebb and flow of the show goes where your questions goes: health, fitness, supplementation, pro wrestling, sports, and anything and everything in between. This show is being called the People's Podcast. Now, where you guys have a voice just like anybody else out there in the podcasting world. We're one of the top listened to pro wrestling and health and fitness podcasts out there. Overall listens each and every week. So thank each and every one of you, no matter where you tune in at. Twitter Spaces, all subscribers, thank you on Twitter. I do follow back all my subscribers, and thank you all for the love and support over there. Over here on Ryback TV, super chats are greatly appreciated and will be brought up on the screen and answered in between taking calls from Twitter Spaces as well. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ryback Reeves and also at Twitch at Ryback Rules. This podcast is available on all podcast platforms. Go subscribe, audio, iTunes, Spotify, what's it, Android, Podbean. There's 1,000 different podcast platforms out there, guys. With all of that, iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. Monday through Friday, if you can't catch the live version, catch the audio. It greatly helps us out. We continue to move up the audio rankings as well, even though we're streaming across 5, 6 platforms total on that, where most, usually go 1 or 2, maybe 3 on some on that. But we've got 6 different platforms we go, and I prefer to keep it that way because I do feel overall it is better for overall listens. To help people with wherever they want to catch the show live at, or if they want to watch it later, depending on their schedule and whatnot. This show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors for all people, men and women, he, she, and thee on feedmemore.com. We're continuing the sale. Yesterday was a monster day. Thank you to each and every one of you that participated in our 40% off flash sale, the Independence Day sale. For my text message and email subscribers, I'm making it public. With everything going on with the Chase situation, we are turning negatives into positives all day long on this. And so Independence 40, guys, 40% off all the way till 4 p.m. once again today. I'm going to see if we can beat yesterday's sales, because yesterday was a pretty big monster day on that. And you get a free shaker bottle with all orders as well on feedmemore.com. Discount code Independence40, Independence40, 40% off until 4 p.m. Pacific time. Get your orders in. It's our second biggest sale of the year. The biggest one will come during Christmas time. So enjoy that 40%, because that is by far the biggest that we will be doing at this point. All right. Good to see everybody on the chat. Ryback TV. We've off to a great morning. I got off the phone just prior to starting the show with the detective who was on the case, and he had some very good news on everything going on, and he is going to be corresponding with the FBI on all of this. We are waiting. As you know, Twitter yesterday had to notify the Brandon Chase Stalker Ryback of the subpoena, and we know where he is. They are monitoring based off different means. I can't talk about how they are able to make sure somebody is where they should be and whatnot. And as of today, we should have, hopefully, the Twitter we need Twitter. Twitter's, by the way, has handled this very poorly for everybody out there, as far as not getting them the information as quickly as they could. That would help speed this whole process up. But he will be visited today by hopefully Birmingham police and FBI agents. And they will be letting him know in person, and that what will be happening moving forward. He will be arrested. I don't know if he's going to be arrested today, but once everything is in with Twitter, YouTube is going to be subpoenaed as well. He was all night on YouTube making more threats on YouTube under the various accounts. He was in the spam yesterday. So Chase, I know you're listening. They're going to be going after multiple accounts or platforms with everything. And I have no doubt that they'll be able to get your search history as well. And I'm going to do everything in my power. We are going to put you away for as long as possible. There's no I'm sorry's. There's nothing. We are dealing with a monster. Your words, we know what we're dealing with, and we're going to treat you as such. And he's still active on Twitter under his 2 fake female accounts, Layla Kent and Jordan Garcia. These are confirmed to be Chase, just so everybody knows. So block, do not interact with this individual. You're dealing with a highly dangerous, mentally disturbed individual. He still is going. He still is going on his account. I don't know if he's in denial or doesn't believe, but his world is going to be crashing in very, very quickly. Say goodbye to those that you love, Chase, because we're coming after you. This isn't made up. And I'm going to tell you guys one other thing, and this connects all to that bullshit with Ringside News, who for the last 7 years has been putting out slanderous article after article on me with infusing their fake negative opinions and trying to create hate and just negativity towards me in every way possible. That was Chase's preferred news site for wrestling news. And I guarantee you, and I'm going to make sure that this gets looked into. I guarantee you that owner, that Steve Carrier and Chase, have probably had some sort of communication with this. We are dealing with individuals that are very like-minded. And you saw that meltdown yesterday with that clown on here, on how he acts, on everything. He's going on his drunken rants and all the misinformation that he put out on me yesterday. Nobody's going to jail. Steve, you don't know what you're talking about, and you are in for a world of hurt when you realize what is coming your way with it. I gave you the blueprint on how you could fix things. You and your bipolar, crazy, drunken, fucking numbskull fucking thought process thought that was the way to go. You are royally fucked, Steve. So good luck in the future. You're going to find out very soon what is in store for you. Zero tolerance. But people, Steve has a meltdown. So Steve, for 7 years, has been behind putting out hate. And this, I'm going to tell you guys something with this. Well, I'll finish my thought first, then we'll go. So Steve, for 7 years, or 7, 8, 9, how many ever years that site has been going, putting out all these misleading articles of defamation and slander on me. I post one picture of his mugshot from his drunken arrest. That is public information, by the way, with this on that. And he has an epic meltdown of just the highest proportions yesterday, like just completely off his rocker. And you guys saw it. And so you see the hate and all the lies that he put out yesterday. Now just use some common sense to go, how much has he been doing that? He doesn't care about anything. And this is the problem. You're not going to categorize everybody in the media, in wrestling. The majority of these dirt sheet people, and this is, I will break this, I will Dr. Phil this to you guys all day long. They have zero respect for the men and women who do this. Not just me, but for the men and women who do this. They have zero respect because they failed. They could not do it. They did not have the mindset, the courage, the physical capabilities. They did not have it to actually go and pursue their dreams. So what they do instead is they then create these fan sites and create all these misleading, hateful articles to they want to get the fame and attention. And what they don't realize is that they have no fucking respect. They're using all the men and women in this game that sacrifice their health and their bodies for everybody else's entertainment. And these motherfuckers, these low-life pieces of shit, guys, who can't do it, that's their mindset when they're doing all of this. And that Steve is the perfect fucking example of what not to be. Now, if these places, all they have to do, you want to know, and you look at it with other sports media and different media and journalists, that you got to give respect to get respect. You don't just fucking put bullshit and expect and slander fucking and hurt people's brands and names and talk shit about them and infuse your goddamn fucking opinions on a thing when all you need to be doing is reporting facts. Leave your goddamn motherfucking opinions, leave your bullshit out of it, report fucking facts. And those of you that actually learn how to fucking do that are going to rise to the top of the game in a good way. But you stupid motherfuckers keep doing this, and you're shooting yourselves in the foot with it. And you're playing to a fucking portion that you could be playing to so much more. And you want to be fucking around the business. You want to actually be fucking ringside. You fucking boozed bleacher bum little bitch. Fucking report the facts. Not what you want to fucking persuade people to be the facts, because you could never fucking do it. You are a drunken fucking loser. And I'm going to fucking get you right after we're finished with this chase. You fucking watch. It's not going to be a difficult process legally with everything that we have. You dumb motherfucker. And yesterday you just buried yourself for fucking good. So you just wait and see. Be better. But you have people report the fucking facts. You guys are you are just disgusting pigs. And you guys want to try, you'd have no problem trying to hurt other people with it. But one fucking picture of a real fucking thing that you fucking did, and you have a fucking epic meltdown. You broke in front of the world, you little bitch. And you showed everybody how you don't have what it takes to fucking be a professional wrestler, let alone even report the fucking facts. Going to jail. Bitch, we're going to find out who's going to jail. And that's it. Steve Carrier, you are a goddamn fucking loser. I hope you go get drunk some more today and go fucking just drown your sorrows away in your old crow poor man's fucking whiskey. You weak, pathetic little fucking lost soul bitch. You just report all your lies. We'll see how long you last. You want to fucking play in the big leagues? I've been through the fucking ringer. I know how to fucking handle this stuff. You, my friend, you can't handle one fucking picture. How's it feel? How's it feel to have somebody post something? And by the way, just post the fucking truth on you. I didn't even have to fucking put anything else. Ringside News. New website, Steve. I want you to refigure your whole fucking thing. boozedbleacherbum.com. And just Steve's fucking opinion. That's all that shit is. Your little pathetic Mark opinion. You ain't ever going to be. You think you're going to fucking get invited to any fucking shows? Even the low-life dirt sheets. Even the other low-life dirt sheets look at you and fucking think, what a clown, pathetic motherfucker. You turned me babyface on your own fucking site. Your own readers are a fucking shame to you. You made me out to be the biggest heel on your fucking site, and your own fucking followers and fucking readers turned me babyface like that yesterday. You fucking loser. God. Saying you want to fucking come on with me. You fucking couldn't fucking hang with the big guy, fucking sober, fucking drunk, fucking on pills, whatever the fuck you want to take. You can take all the liquid courage you want. You are a grade A bitch. You are the laughing stock of the fucking wrestling community. People that thought they hated my guts fucking sided with me over your pathetic sorry ass. Let that fucking thing sink in really good, Steve. You are a real fucking, you are something else. All right. Enough of that loser. Let's get on to the show. He's fucking crying now. Let's see. Make an account, Steve, like Chase. You got 20 other accounts? Come on here. You want to talk about my white label supplements that you don't know what you're talking about and the sex workers that I hire, Steve? You want to talk? That's going to be your first question? Just two random more lies that you fucking come up with while you're drunk? God. boozedbleacherbum.com. All right, let's take our first caller here. Get things going. I invited Arnold in. I hope to God Arnold wasn't listening to that. Arnold's going to be like, Jesus Christ, Ryback, easy, chill out, brother. All right. Hello.
Hi, Ryback. This is Victor Pritchard. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing today?
Hey, I've been listening to your show now for the last month or two, and I just wanted to call in because I really enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
And I don't know if you remember, we did in my business is I do autograph signings and appearances and stuff, and we worked together back in 2016 at a card shop in Culver City called Big Lou's Toys and Collectibles.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, you were great with the fans. We had a great time having you there. I think it was one of maybe your first appearances after WWE.
I think so as well.
Yeah, it was a great signing. We had a great day. The fans loved you.
Let me ask you, I remember WWE put out a lot of fake articles saying that I was mean to fans and I'm the #1 worst wrestler for meet and greets. Would you, as somebody that has brought me in for a meet and greet, would you say that was your experience or no?
Far from that, Ryback. One thing that my buddy from Miami, Lewis, and a lot of the feedback that we got after the signing, because you literally sat down with fans, like once the signing was literally over, I remember you just sitting there and talking with the fans and just shooting the shit and just hanging out, just like a regular guy. And you were so open, answering any questions they had. And it was amazing. It was not just a signing. It felt more intimate, like an experience that you gave the fans.
Thank you. So, and I would like, I'm like that on everything that I do. So I just wanted to hear it just from someone that had brought me in, because sometimes I think if I say it, people don't believe it. So.
Yeah, exactly. Because, they think you're going to put yourself over, but I can tell everybody for sure. And I know you just, you were at WrestleCon, and I know the guys that brought you in, said the same thing. They had a great experience with you as well. So I know for a fact, anytime, if you guys go out and you're going to see Ryback advertised for an autograph signing, you guys are going to have a great time. He's very down to earth. And that's what I like about your show, too. That's why I wanted to call in, because I enjoy listening to your show. Not only do I do as my business, as a source of income, the autograph signings, I work with a lot of wrestling talent, but I enjoy listening to your show. I enjoy listening to the listeners calling in, asking questions, you talking about the business. I love how you promote your nutritional supplement company, because I used to work for a functional medicine company. So I like to, it's a lot of interest in my world. So I really enjoy it. I just wanted to call in and tell you that I totally agree with everything you're saying about all the dirt sheets. Because, coming as a wrestling fan, but then in the last 10 years, I've worked with a lot of talent very closely. I'm actually working very closely now with Tony Norris, who for some people know him as Ahmed Johnson. And in the last few months, working with Tony and doing a lot of autograph signings, we've talked about this. We've talked about the dirt sheets making up stuff. We've talked about heat that was created that's not there. And it's remarkable how these dirt sheets can control the way people can picture a lot of the talent.
Yep.
And I'll give you an example. Like, one of the things that I was personally working on is I wanted to do a Nation of Domination reunion. No one has been able to get it done. And I'm very tight with Charles White, Godfather.
Great guy.
I'm great with D-Lo. Ron Simmons I've worked with before. And now I've become very close with Tony. And he told me, I go, do you have any heat with anybody? Because this is something that I would like to do. This is something that I would like to put together. And he goes, you know what, Victor? He goes, they're saying that I have issues with D-Lo. They're making up stuff that D-Lo beat me up behind backstage one day and all this. He goes, none of that is true. He goes, that's all BS. And as I uncover more about this story, all that BS that the dirt sheets wrote, it's just all BS. It's not true, and it makes fans.
It hurts the men and women that do this in their reputations, and they take good fans who think they're getting honest reporting. They're taking, these people are rewriting history and changing things for their own benefit that are hurting the men and women. And I really believe it's because of what I said. Their insecurities that they could never do it. So they try to hurt those of us that could or do it. They don't have any respect. And they're not actually, I bet you nobody ever once called Ahmed Johnson and tried to get his side of the story before reporting those things or anything. And this is the big problem. And not saying, I think there are some that are trying to do this in a more reputable way. And, and we're not saying they're perfect, but where they're just trying to report facts and leave their opinions out, or not just put out what they think is a fact, and without doing any source checking or anything like that. But like something like that can damage somebody's reputation. And I've lived this like that, where he may not get booked because people may think he's difficult or this and that because of all the bullshit that they put out.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And like you said, a lot of the talent now, that's wrestled 15, 20 years ago, they do these autograph signings, they do these appearances. This is a big source of income for them. Yeah. And unless you really get the context to me is so critical.
Agreed.
You have to get context, and like you said, there are some, I've had a good experience with Raj from Wrestling Inc.
Yep.
I don't think he owns it anymore. I think they sold it to somebody else. But when I was promoting some of my autograph signings and shows about 5-6 years ago, and I said, hey, do you mind putting this on your website and showing? He goes, no problem. I'm happy to promote it, pump it up for you. So, they were very easy to work with. But someone like Ringside News that just puts out garbage constantly all day and just floods it. And like you said yesterday, when I was listening to your show, this guy was going nuts. He was posting one thing after another.
Yeah.
It just felt like, it was his own personal war that he had to deal with, and it was so sad because, people look at ringside news, but now they're going to look at them at a whole nother different perspective now because of this.
And they should have been. They've been doing this from the start. And two, another problem is like when you have, that's the owner, so his mindset trickles down to the individual people that work for it, and that if it's not, that has to come from the top. You know, a place like Wrestling Inc. with Raj when he was in charge. Where, and even that, and I've had discussions with Raj and I've got upset with him because, and this was it with some of the writers, they start infusing their opinions and trying to put a thing to get people to react in a hateful way and taking it out of context. And I understand it's very difficult to monitor, but that's something you got to have in place as from a ethics standpoint, that your company, that you got, guys, we are only going to report the facts. And look, and hey, if this is something we see happening over and over with you, you're probably not going to be here. We only like, but you have to have respect for the business and the men and women who do this, and most of them don't. And that's the big problem with this. And I have lived it, and I've had my stuff suppressed and had to keep fighting. And I'm finally getting out of it now, and my voice is getting stronger. And I haven't changed with any of it, but I know the truth on what I've lived into my experiences, and I've seen all the lies, and I've seen people who used to like me turn on me because of those lies with it. And and it's not just me, but I'm speaking for everybody, the men and women that do this with that. And it's like, if these people want to actually be looked at in a positive light, you have to treat the wrestlers with respect, not look at them with hate and negativity and insecurities because you couldn't do what they have done. And you have to be able to remove your personal opinion, and you've got to be able to you've got to, like, I can't tell you how many times over the years that people don't check with you on something before they go and push something out. And because they don't give a fuck, they have no respect and they just want to put it out. And so they have no problem hurting your brand and business with that. And that's why there's such a gap. And I really think this is important stuff. We've got to fix the relationship between the wrestling media and the talent and then the promotions with this. And you've got, and it's wrestlers are some of the most respectful people on the planet with this, but nobody's going to sit back and tolerate. We all feel the same way. We're all going through the same thing. It's just like any given day, somebody's going to be made out to be a huge heel on this. And very rarely do people get the praise and the love that they should with it. But these things are being reported in a negative, slanderous way more often than not for clicks and for views. And that's it. And it just sucks.
It does. It does. No, I mean, you are totally correct. And hopefully you taking a stand now, this will create a new movement, amongst everybody, because like you said, this is detrimental. This, the way they hurt you is they want to hurt you in your pocket.
Yeah.
And then they make it more personal. But now someone like yourself who speaks very well, has a lot of integrity, very intelligent. You have a great platform here. This could be a new movement now that you're going to start where, hey, it has to stop now. The BS has to stop. It's not necessary. Right now, we all know there's so much wrestling out there to watch, more wrestling than there ever is.
Yep.
And it's so easy for everybody to be so negative. Why can't we all just be so positive?
And that's what, but it stems from them, and they have to want to love the business and love the talent and be respectful. We're not going to say you got to love everybody in the sense of everyone has to be your favorite, but you also don't have to go out of your way to try to hurt people. And we see that, and that yesterday was a very good example of what it is and can be and has been for a very long time, where it needs to change. And I told them too, when they wanted to come on and they acted like they were going to start acting better. I said, great, and just apologize for all the BS, and you're more than welcome to come on and have a conversation and try to find some common ground on what's the deal here with this. They back out right away. They go, well, prove it. We want examples. I give them 3 examples within a matter of minutes. Here's what you're doing. You're infusing your opinion. You're taking things out of context to try to get views in a negative way with it. And then they go off the rails on everything with that. But like, it's like, we can't have conversations if that's how you're going to act with this. But this is not just them. It's a lot of the wrestling media is doing this and everything. And all it does is it hurts the talent. Talents don't want to have anything to do with it. We want to be more engaged and more interactive with people on this, but not when everybody's trying to get out to get somebody and trying to make somebody look in a bad way or report it in a bad way. It's just, and I'm going to give you another example on how something could be rephrased if you actually listen to the show and listen to it on the thing where I talked about Triple H. And where I expressed how he was the biggest disappointment to me with that. and I went into detail on the show at other times and in the tweet where it's like, I loved him. He was my favorite as a kid for a good period of time. And I wanted us to have a better relationship and tried on that. And there were periods of time where we did with that, but I was expressing and actually communicating how I felt with that. And so rather than like in taking that and labeling it in a negative way and trying to make me out to look like this vicious human being on it, you can very easily Ryback expresses how he feels about Triple H as a disappointment. You can just do things in a different way. Right. Where it's taken in the whole context, and you put the audio in for people to listen to the entire thing, not just a snippet of something to try to get people to react in a hateful, negative way over something that wasn't entirely what you were making out to be. And that was something you could say that was a factual thing that happened, but you altered it to make it look like this very vicious, hateful thing with it. And it's like, and that you just take that over and over and over and over and over, and it's just regurgitated. And so
that's the caveat right there. That's the key right there. They're only going to put what's going to be in the headlines, what's going to bring in the viewers, what's going to attract, as we say, what's the cheese man, what's the drama, you know? And exactly, you hit it. Why not, you know, let's paraphrase and let's say what Ryback said, his exact feelings. I love Triple H. I love him like this, but maybe I disagree with him on that.
Yeah.
Give all the context. And I totally agree with you. And I think that's what happens in all sports. You know, that's kind of what, you know, the journalists that have real etiquette and real intelligence and, you know, they want to actually publish it versus the people that just want the clickbait. They want just the fast headlines to draw people in. And that's where the disconnection gets.
But they have respect. Those good ones have respect. And I'll tell you this, the ones that do that in other sports and wrestling, they actually have better relationships with the wrestlers. And if you actually have better relationships with the wrestlers, you're less likely to do that because you actually then get to know somebody. You go, well, I don't want to, I know that's not true. But what a lot of these people do is they're anonymous and they lie in the shadows. And they like I said, it comes from insecurities of they couldn't do it. So their next best thing is they go to these, it's not actually news sites, it's obsessed mark sites where they then just go and express their hateful opinions. And what we have seen, and this isn't just wrestling, it's the world. Right. They're pushing that hate and negativity, that mindset onto actually fans that are probably good fans that then are thinking they're getting credible news sources and they just don't know. Like a lot of young people don't know really the way the world works yet. They haven't come to that point and they're getting manipulated and changed. They're getting this hate inside of them and it's just inspiring more and more hate. And that's what we're seeing where we got to finally say like enough is enough. But what I only can do is try to open up communication and talk to other good ones and try to get that where then the other ones go, hey, I want those relationships too. Maybe we're going to start reporting in a little more honest way as well. We can turn this around if we start and do this one by one, but it's going to take time, but it has to be talked about because it's going on and it's hurting all the men and women who do this, who sacrifice their health for people's entertainment. And it's like, I love this more than anything in the world. And I've had to live through all this and I've survived it. And I was like, I'm going to fight for this all day long.
I totally agree with you. And I really believe with the platform that you have here and how you voice your opinion and, you know, people listening to this podcast every day and, you know, they're going to see over time how things hopefully move in a new direction, you know, and there's a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of good wrestling fans out there, a lot of fans that love wrestling. They maybe they don't understand the behind the scenes of the business and everything. And that's fine. You enjoy it. It's entertainment. Maybe you don't have to get into all the deep down nuances of everything, but it's not necessary to have to report stuff that's not true, negativity, hate. You know, I think the context is what's important. And hopefully with you voicing your opinion and this platform that you have here, you know, is going to move things in a different direction. I really feel it will.
Thank you. No, likewise. And I appreciate, man, you calling in and you're welcome on any time and a great insight into things. So thank you.
No, thank you so much. Hopefully maybe we'll see each other down the road. I heard you talking about maybe a big show they're going to do here in LA. So maybe, you know, if that comes down or if that happens, maybe I'll see you down the road. I'd love to come and talk to you and introduce myself again to you.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll let you know if that goes through or not. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And I'm so happy. Hopefully this Chase thing, we get some closure to it. Because I know it's been a nightmare. I was listening last week, just like everybody else, And it was really bothering me a lot. I was actually telling my wife about this. I was telling my mother about this because my mother lives with me as well.
Yep.
And I love my mother. I don't have my father anymore. And our business started as a family business, our sports collectible, and now the autograph signing business. And I'm very protective over my mother. And we have 2 dogs too. So anyone that would ever threaten my mother, do anything to me, my wife, I don't know what I would do. So you holding your composure and not being so reactive and everything, and now letting the law take its course with Chase, I know things are going to move in the right direction. So I'm happy this is going to hopefully come to a closure. So now you can focus more on a lot of things in your career. So I know God has a plan for you, and I know he's going to protect you and never abandon you, and he's going to look after you, brother.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it, and we are going to get him, and it's going to be a great thing to get him and where he can't hurt anybody and do anything moving forward. So thank you again.
I think we're all looking forward to that. I know you mentioned, you said, hey, you're going to go, if you visit him in jail behind the glass, and you can go on live and show everybody how this guy's going to be living in misery. I can't wait to see that if that does happen.
Yeah, it's personal on that, and I joke about stuff too and stuff. I hope he's locked up, honestly, forever. I don't know what the details and what's going to ensue on all of that, but I hope he can get the help that he needs at some point in there. But it's zero tolerance on the route that he took and what he's done, and him trying to. And I can't even tell you, we're talking thousands of accounts. We just got confirmation yesterday that we've got thousands of counts in the last 6 years on Twitter alone.
Unbelievable.
This isn't on any of this is on Twitter alone. Thousands of accounts within the last 6 years. And he's running multiple of these accounts right now, still going. And he's on YouTube. He's been spamming my chat in YouTube for the last 3-4 years, if not longer. It's the truth is going to come out. I always tell people the truth always wins. It sometimes just takes a minute, but it
does. It will come to a finish, and you're going to be the one at the end, at the victory lane, and this guy's going to be paying the consequences and suffering for what he's doing, because what he is doing is just unacceptable. Like you said, it's zero tolerance.
Yeah. Nobody
in their life should have to live like this. You've sacrificed a lot, but that's because, you're very protective over your family, which anyone would be. Any man of the house is like that.
Yeah.
So it's very understandable, but we know that there's going to be closure to this real soon. So I think we're all very proud about that.
Thank you very much, brother. Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to having you back on it, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Love the show. I'm going to be continuing listening and share it all over my social media. So I really enjoy listening to you guys.
Thank you very much, brother. Take care.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye-bye. Bye. Awesome. Thank you very much. The People's Podcast. What do you guys think about the name? But you got to keep the Ryback Show, the People's Podcast. I think I'm going to maybe get some artwork for that. This is because I've wanted to do this format for 3-4 years. So let me get to a couple super chats here. We've got a $20. Oh, thank you very much. 20. That's a nice tip for the masseuse later. A dirt sheet that makes the National Enquirer looks like real news, and a stalker for 12 years. Lunch is on me, big guy. Thank you very much, Jay Bradbury. That's very, very kind of you. I'll take that back from the masseuse. We're going to use that for lunch today. I appreciate it. Thank you. And it's no coincidence that he got a lot of his wrestling news and retweeted all that stuff. And like I said, I will not be shocked that those two have probably had conversations, even on his probably on burner accounts to each other. It's because I see a minus the death threats from the Steve guy. I see a very similar mindset with how they behave. Todd Hurley, good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much. Let me make sure I didn't miss another one here before we take another caller here. Honor our Ryback TV YouTube super chats. Good deal. We've got one more here popped in. Evan Amy Art 91. Sorry, haven't been on in a while. I'll write some of your inspirational quotes in my diary to remind myself daily. #Ryback rules. Thank you very much, Evan. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Good to see you back in here. All right, let's take on. I think we've got a new caller here. Keon. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hello, hello. Welcome to the Ryback Show.
Hello, big guy.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. What's on your mind?
Man, this Chase stuff is crazy, man. I've been watching you since Skip Sheffield, man. And yeah, you're a pretty nice guy. I don't understand why this guy's coming after you. So I'm glad you finally got him handled. And I just hope, you can go back. Hopefully you can get ready to go back and get healthy and go back to wrestling. I'm ready to see you, man.
Thank you. That's the game plan. This is he disrupted 2 weeks of my life where he didn't stop any of the work being done, but where I had to take some precautions to protect everybody. And, now he threw the rest of his life away with that. And that was his choice. And I hope this sets an example for other people out there that this is not okay. And an obsession like this it's not healthy. And it's if he would have put a fraction of that energy into his life, man, his wife might not have divorced him in 2022 and left him. So, because I know he was caught up on me not being married, and he got married and his wife left him. So let's drop a little more facts out there because I know he's still listening.
Well, that's all I want to say, big guy. Nice talking to you. And
you too, brother.
Come back again.
Thank you very much. You take care.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. I forgot to drop that little bit. I was waiting for kind of a natural way to bring that in with everything. But Chase has been leaving me messages for the last 7 years on why I'm not married. And I always could never figure out why. I go, this is so odd with everything. But then when he started bringing it up on the podcast, he's been obsessed over me not being married, but he gets angry, kind of like Steve does, that I hang around beautiful women and know all these beautiful women. And my ex-girlfriend was a beautiful woman. They get very, very upset over that. And that I'm not, quote unquote, married with that. But, Chase found somebody that I don't know how, if he drugged him prior and got them, took him through the drive-through in Vegas, but they divorced him in 2022 and left him. So that Chase, I don't know if that's what has started the downward spiral, but brother, it's all your own fault. She probably couldn't handle you being on fucking social media, fucking worshiping and obsessing over me for the last 12 years, kneeling down with all your fucking candles at your little shit apartment. Chase, go fucking do something. Go do something with your life, Chase. Your stepfather wanted you to be a WWE superstar. Quit being a fucking loser. Chase, go out and achieve your dreams. And you just feeding time. But that was your own choice, Chase, with it. You could have put that energy. You could have still had your wife, probably had some kids if that's what you wanted with anything. God forbid, and thank God that didn't happen. Idiocracy would have been here even sooner. But here we are. With that, how's that make you feel, Chase? You want to come on the show? You want to come back on? Or we're following you on everything now, Chase. Just so you're aware. And what I'm doing is legal, and I could just say whatever I want to state on that, Chase, and you can't do a goddamn thing about it. Thought you were playing with a little kid, playing with the big guy, Chase. Trademarked. Megan, good to see you. Brawler, Brooklyn Brawler, good to see you. Everybody listened to yesterday's show. Brooklyn Brawler brought in the ratings. Yesterday's show, we had a really, really high total audience yesterday on all the platforms. We had our #1 Twitter Spaces yesterday because this is very new here. And Brooklyn Brawler is bringing in the ratings. So thank you, Brawler. I want to do this a daily. The Brooklyn Brawler, guys. I think we're going to bring them on. Brooklyn Brawler, a little quick inspiration from the Brooklyn Brawler. I'm going to use them for some ratings today. What's going on? We got to wait. The speaker on the bottom left on the mic has to be purple. I think it might be red.
How's that?
Oh, I can hear you now. What's going on?
You keep telling me hit that button. You keep telling me that button. Let's stop making Chase fucking popular. You know what I mean? He's a piece of shit. And if he was in Brooklyn in the day, he wouldn't be there no more because he's a coward.
He wouldn't last 5 minutes in the street of Brooklyn.
Cowards always back down.
You know what? A wise woman once told me, with trash, you fucking got to curb it. You can't change trash. You got to curb it. And that man is trash.
and it takes a second to get a reputation and a lifetime to lose it.
Absolutely.
He got the reputation.
That's what I told you, Brawler. I was telling the people with that, like he wanted to come on here. He wanted his 15 minutes of fame. I go, I'm going to use it to my advantage, and I'll keep the people interested. I'll try to keep him on as long as possible, let him bury himself as much as possible, and get a little bit of entertainment in the process with it. And we had our best day of sales in months because of him. So thank you very much, Chase.
I hope I didn't bore the people yesterday with all the wrestling talk. You know what I mean?
No, people love that.
I speak the truth. When I speak, I tell the truth about everything.
That's why on the People's Podcast, the truth is power, Brawler. And that's why.
That's right. That's right. Are you going back to wrestling, or are we going to talk about that dickhead?
No, I want to get a story. I want something. I want an interesting, funny story.
Okay, here's a good story
that people haven't heard before from the Brooklyn.
Roddy Piper story?
Who?
Roddy Piper.
Oh, yes, please.
Okay. I'm traveling in Texas with Roddy Piper. Now, we're traveling for about 2 weeks. After the show, about 11 o'clock, Roddy Piper says, I want to get a drink. I says, okay, Roddy. I'm on the highway. I'm driving. He points to a bar. There's about 50 motorcycles in the front of the bar. He goes, let's go there. I said, Roddy, look at the fucking motorcycles. As soon as we walk in, they're going to fuck with us because they see us on TV. He says, now we are going in. So we walk in the bar, and you remember the movie Animal House?
Yep.
Everybody went silent. Everybody went silent. Roddy walked up to the bar. He said, 2 shots of Jack Daniels. And now me and him are standing at the bar. I said, with my peripheral vision, I said, Roddy, big 250-pound motherfucker coming towards us with leather clothes on. He couldn't care less. The guy goes between me and Roddy. He takes Roddy's shot. He puts it in his mouth, and he goggles it, and he spits it back in the glass. I just told Roddy's daughter this story about 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago at an interview session. He spits it back in the glass. He puts it back in the bar. Roddy picks up the glass. He looks at the guy. The guy thought he was going to punch him in the face. Roddy shoots the glass down and says, glad to know you. The people fucking popped. We didn't pay for a drink all night. The whole place. He turned us completely babyface.
Oh, that is unreal. You know, I got to
now you would have expected him to hit the guy, right?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but that speaks to, like, if somebody's gonna act crazy, the way to get them is to act even crazier.
He don't care. He had no fear at all.
Yeah.
I loved Roddy. I loved him. One time he said, come up to my room on the 9th floor. And it was in a hotel. He was with Terry Von Erich. He says, come out and we'll have a drink together. And, you know, the hell with it, I'll say it. And we'll smoke a joint, he said.
It's legal. That's legal these days, so you guys weren't doing anything wrong.
I'll leave the door ajar. I opened the door. I said, Roddy. He goes, out here. Him and Terry Von Erich were standing on the ledge, 9 floors up. He said, come on out. It relaxes you. I just turned to him. I said, Roddy, see you in the dressing room tomorrow. I wouldn't do that.
Same.
It's fucking nuts.
I got one of the coolest moments for me in WWE, Brawler, was I'm really grateful for this. I got to do a Piper's Pit with him, with me and Rusev there, really? And it was towards, I don't know if it was 2015, but Vince wanted me dressed up with a Christmas gift and a bow because Roddy introduced me as a gift. He was giving a gift to Rusev. So I came out, this is actually on YouTube and from Raw, I think, and I come out with a damn bow on as a Christmas gift, and then got to do a whole segment with Piper and Rusev in the ring for Piper's Pit. But he was the nicest guy in the world in the locker room, and because we had to go over everything prior, and he was so respectful and kind, and I'm so glad I got to meet him.
He had no fear of anything.
But he was just he was so cool to work with. And he's like that for me, and getting to work with people like you and him from my childhood. Those are fond memories that I have. So I'm really grateful that I got to be around him, and that you get to hear these stories, but I actually got to have some interaction with him in the period that I was there.
I'm telling you, the stories I got are ridiculous. That's why some guy, this guy in Europe wants to do a podcast.
Yeah, why don't you do your own show?
I don't have the time to do it, to be honest with you.
You're so good at speaking, though, too. You could. I think you'd have a top show. You know, you have so much to talk about.
I know, but I'm not going to take away from you. I enjoy listening to your show.
I know, but I'm just saying at some point, though, Brawler, because, like, look, I mean, just hear me out. You've been in the business. I think you've been in the business. I think you're number 14 of all time, someone was saying, of matches all time.
Yeah.
You are tied into the fabric of WWE, of being around from many generations. But like, as time goes on, because if the stories, and it's great to get some of them on here, you have probably hundreds, if not thousands,
hundreds and hundreds.
But you could give back to the people getting in and the people that love the business, and just share it in whatever you do, like just sharing a few stories every week, even if it's once a week or every other week. Because if you don't share those, they die with you, you know?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's insane. Here's another one. The Iron Sheik sitting in the back seat. Kerry Von Erich sitting in the front seat. I'm the driver. I'm in the business just a couple of years. Now, Kerry had a prosthesis. You knew that, right?
Yeah.
So he says, this is how it relaxes me. I had a Cadillac with a moonroof. He says, just keep the car steady. And I'm a young kid. I feel like, I'm getting over with the big guy, with the top guys. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he goes, this is how I relax. He climbed out of the moonroof. He hooked his foot on the moonroof, and he put his elbow on the hood. And he said, that's how he relaxes. And Sheik is throwing beer cans out the window. I says, and I'm saying to myself, I'm like 24 years old. I'm saying, who's going to get arrested? I'm going to get arrested.
Wow.
You know? I mean, this shit is true. I don't embellish. I tell the truth.
But you guys, too, Brawler, during that period, because I mean, I've always been amazed throughout the history of pro wrestling that there haven't been like more accidents on the road with driving, and things have changed. Now we're talent. I don't think the alcohol is as prevalent, like as far as we're guys drinking on the road as much, but like that wasn't uncommon to have beers in the car or smoke joints in that during those periods.
They had coolers in the back.
Yeah, it was a different time.
Hey, check this out. I was traveling with Hulk one time, and then, because I traveled with Hulk for 2 years. And then the cops, the lights go on behind us, and I'm drinking beer. I stick the beer under the seat, and the spring of the seat punctured the beer, and the beer was shooting into the windshield. The cop came up to the car, and he goes, Hulk Hogan. He goes, get the hell out of here. I don't even know how to write this up.
Jeez. Things were just completely different back then than they are now.
Now it would be, we got Hogan, Johnny.
Yeah. The cops would be filming their own social media video to get over on everything as well.
Yeah, but the shit is crazy. One time I seen Hogan, he said, if we did the things today that we did yesterday, he goes, we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's no doubt. It was just then you can't judge things because it was an entirely different time and environment. It was things weren't as congested and just different times. Brawler, I think until you start your podcast, I enjoy having story time with Brooklyn Brawler on here.
I don't want to overdo it because I came on yesterday. Now I'm coming on again today.
No, but we keep you. If we keep you with just story time with Brawler, we could milk those stories out of you.
I'll never run out.
I know that if you're not gonna do it, we're gonna get the stories where people can hear them on here.
Yeah, I'll give you all the stories. They're insane.
No, I love it. You've been around so much, man. Are you still in Michigan?
I'm still in Michigan. I'm still married to the same woman. We're going on 39 years.
Wow.
Could you imagine 39? And I only knew her 2 months. And you know how I met her?
How?
She was renting the limousines at Detroit Airport. I was traveling with Hogan. And she didn't even know who Hogan was. She wasn't a wrestling fan or nothing. But how the hell do you not know who Hulk Hogan was? And I rented the limousine.
Thunderlips.
Hogan, after about the third or fourth time, we're in Kobo and Joe Louis and all those places every month. Hogan goes, brother, I know you dig that girl. Take her out with the limo tonight.
Oh, man.
It all began. And then I said to her, you want to go on a date? But I got to pick you up about 11:30 because Hogan was in the main event. And I took her out in the limo.
He let you take his limo then to go take her out?
Yeah, he said, take the limo.
Oh, very cool.
The limo, and she rented me the limo.
Holy, so he's kind of responsible then, helping you get your wife.
I didn't know I was going to marry. I married her 2 months later.
She picked her up in a limo. How could she not?
Well, she rented me the limo.
Okay. So wait, she rented it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, okay.
Renting limousine. So she rented me the limo. And then Hogan said, keep the limo and take her out tonight.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's, you know, she wasn't impressed by the limo because that's all she did all
Yeah,
day.
she was. Yeah, she worked. Okay. Oh, I messed that up.
And then I said, you want to go on a date? She goes, yeah. I go, Phoenix. And then we go to Phoenix. And I go, you want to go on another date? San Diego. And it was crazy. She was on a Lear jet with me, Hogan, Cyndi Lauper, and Mr. T.
Whoa.
I mean, and who the hell did you think she thought I was? I was just a young wrestler, you know? I wasn't making money back then. I was just started.
But 39 years, that's unheard of these days, Brawler.
Especially in the business, right?
Yeah, that's the other thing is that's extremely rare in wrestling, let alone in life in general. But for wrestling, that you almost I don't know of a very few people of that stay together for any prolonged period of time, let alone 39 years.
39 in November 18th. 39 years.
Man. So people
still happy and still happy.
And you've done fantastic. It's so cool to get to hear your stories, and I'm so glad you're doing well and healthy and taking care of things still.
It's unreal. And you know what? I got a lot of feedback from the show yesterday, you know. Remember, on Twitter, Brawler Real, and post your messages, follow me, and put Ryback on there, and Ryback show, and I'll follow you back.
Awesome. Brawler,
you know,
man.
If they follow me and they put Ryback show on there, they get a follow back.
Good deal. You guys have heard it from the man himself, Brooklyn Brawler. Steve.
So that's the story, man. I'm not going to come on too often because I don't want to play myself out now.
Oh, you're not. I'm telling you, people love you, Brawler, and love wrestling and hearing the stories. And we live in a day and age, man, where we get to communicate. And, you know, I do this show every day, and we just keep getting more and more popular. And you're welcome on anytime. Anytime I see you in here, no pressure. But if you want to come on, let me know. And then we got a story, even if it's just one. I personally would love to hear it. And I think the people.
That was two. You know what? You're going to get three now.
Oh, one more. Let's go.
Okay, I'm washing my car in the driveway. I was living in Livonia, Michigan. The phone rings. My wife goes, Vince is on the phone. I said, Vince? She goes, yeah. Vince goes, hey, pal, I need you to take care of something. I says, anything you need, Vince? He goes, I know that. He goes, Ted DiBiase got in trouble. He had some domestic problems. He goes, I need you to fly to Kuwait. But the only problem is we can't get your working visas. You have to tell them you're going on vacation. Do you know what it was like in London when I showed my passport and said I'm going to Kuwait on vacation?
I can't even imagine. How did that work out?
They said, do you know where Kuwait is? They said, do you know what's going on over there? I says, yeah, don't I choose where I go on my own vacation? You know, so I went there, and I was so nervous until I finally seen the wrestlers turn the corner in the airport in Kuwait, and I felt like, I'm safe now.
Oh, so you had to go over there with no security, anything, and just say you were going on vacation.
Right.
Ooh.
Right.
Man,
on vacation.
That's why you were with WWE for so long. You always did whatever they needed.
I did anything they asked me, everything they asked me. One time we walked in the dressing room, and they wanted a little tiger, a little, I don't know the word now, little people, little midget.
Yeah, you got to, I think little person is the,
little
they hate the word midget. Midget is like kind of like a bad word now.
Vince goes, I need someone to put the little person over. Everybody put their head down, and I raised my hand. Little did you know, the little person was wearing a Randy Savage mask. And I said to myself, I don't care. So it was the Bushwhackers and the little person against me and two other people, and the little person pinned me with the Randy Savage mask. So technically, I wrestled Randy Savage.
That just shows me you've always had a great attitude, Brawler.
In a very small way, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why people that
stories. It's insane.
People think that, but you always had a great attitude, and you put the company first and did whatever they asked. And you ended up working there longer than pretty much anyone. And that's why I think you're the legend that you are.
32 years. And you know what my motto is? I'm not better than anyone else.
Yep.
That's my motto.
You are, to me, you set a great example of the correct mindset to have in the business.
Positive.
Yep.
Positive is the only way to be.
Yep.
Positive. and it's a little too late for Chase because he can't be positive now because he's going down and he's going down big.
I agree. Well, Brawler, it was a pleasure having you on again. Nothing but love and respect, and everybody give him a follow on here at Brawler Real, right?
Brawler Real with 2 R's in the middle, one word.
Good deal.
Brawler Real. And I appreciate it. I love coming on here. You talk nothing but positive.
Thank you.
It's hard to find.
Thank you, Brawler. This is the People's Podcast now, so it's
the People's Podcast, and eventually there's going to be a segment with Brawler's Corner.
Oh, I love it. Brawler's Corner, story time with the Brooklyn Brawler. It'll be the most popular part of the show, no doubt.
And the funny is, I don't need a script.
I said that yesterday. No, the Ryback show, no scripts needed.
You don't need a script when you're telling the truth. All you got to do is remember.
Exactly. I said it's why it's easy. People don't realize you can stay. You're consistent, and it's easy.
You got it.
All right, Brawler. Well, you have a great day out there, and stay safe.
Same to you, my friend.
All right. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
Brooklyn Brawler, ladies and gentlemen. Please give him a follow, guys. Brawler Real with 2 R's in there. RREAL. Brawler Real on there, guys. The Brooklyn Brawler. We've got Matt. We're going to bring Matt on. Before I bring Matt on, make sure I didn't miss any other super chats while we had Brawler on. We've got a super chat here. Todd, hey, Todd Hurley, you need to trademark freaking Jacked. MJF and John Silver's said it on Dynamite last week. Oh, I didn't. I think I saw something. It is. Everyone knows though that I've been saying that, so I'm not too worried. You know, that's, I can tell you guys with that kind of stuff, it's, what are you going to do on that? With that, I've got enough trademarks for everything else, but I think you guys all know that where that originated from. So it's, I've had other people where they try to take things. It's like, it never works out well in wrestling, try to take other people's stuff though. And I don't know if I don't know. I didn't see anything in particular, but it's, I do it on my feeding time videos. It's something I say pretty much every week. I've been doing it for probably 4 or 5 years. So, it doesn't work well when you try to take stuff from other people that are known. I could tell you it doesn't. So, all right, let's bring Matt on. Hello.
Hey, Ryback, how's your day going so far, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Day ends in Y, sir. That idea Brawler has, man, that is just so cool. Like, from a fan who loves the business as much. I've watched since I was 2 years old, back in the Hogan days, so it is really cool to hear his stories and everything, and I love that he's doing it on your platform, which is just aside from Chase, healthy place to sit and listen. Do have a question for you, though, if I may ask.
Yep, absolutely.
So, you've got a very diverse background of interests and things, and I don't know if you went into this in depth in your book, but was sitting here listening and kind of thought to myself, man, he's got a good, diverse set of revenue streams. Your supplement business, the YouTube channel, and it's fascinating to me. What makes you identify something as an investment or revenue? I mean, most people would think like, hey, I'll just buy a rental property. I think you said,
which I had one of those as well. And I was,
yeah, you had a townhouse, if I recall right.
Yeah.
And it's just genius how you do it. What do you look at and think that's going to get me money?
I think I find what I'm passionate about and what I like and different things. And so, but everything that I do now and like having my podcast and my business. And I learned this from Gary Vaynerchuk, who I just talked to a couple of weeks ago and waiting for some things. Hopefully he can help with the social media, but it's just, you find things that you're passionate about and that you enjoy doing. And then you just start doing those things. And you might not make revenue on those things, and maybe for a long time even, but you're enjoying the process of what you're doing. And eventually things start falling into place with all of that. And I could tell you, like on the investment, like one of my goals is here. And once I'm back again, wrestling and restore that revenue stream with another thing that I absolutely love is I want to Airbnb my house that I'm in right now. I'm going to leave it as is, as Ryback's house, because I wanted to do this with my townhouse, but it didn't really work because I wasn't allowed to do Airbnb, and I had to rent out the property long term. And then I turned around and sold it for a great profit. on that, but because the market just kept skyrocketing, and I got it. I could have even held on to it. If I would have held on to it for a couple more years, it probably would have been significantly more. But I got out and took a big win. But this, I want to do Airbnb with my Ryback house and leave it exactly is not just untouched, so I could still visit it, because this house is been for me very healing in it, all the injuries and overcoming everything. But I want to go back to wrestling, and I want to leave this as my wrestling house, and then I want to move on to another property. But like, that's just something I could revisit, and I don't want to ever touch it or change anything. I just want to leave this as is, and I want to go on to a new place. But like something like that, I love like investing as well. And I'm like, I'm going to revisit this, and I'm going to kind of do what I wanted to do with my townhouse that I couldn't fully do it with my property here with everything. But you just find things that you're passionate a bit about and you like with it. And in that too, and it just, the revenue usually will start coming in when you find the things that you're passionate about most. So.
Oh, dude, your gym in that place alone is going to sell it. Like, holy fuck. I don't know how you crammed all that equipment into your garage.
Over time, I probably got 6 figures of stuff in there now total. We're right around it. It's hovering right around that. Like it's, and I ideally would need a 4 or 5 bay garage, but that alone. And like, I don't want to touch it. I want to leave it. So, because I have fond memories of all the rehab I've done here, and it's crazy. I got that gym for like when I was on the road, so that if I was only home a day, I can get a good workout out at home. Or if I needed to work out late at night before going to sleep and flying out, I could get it in, because sometimes you'd have to do media and be busy and run errands and have to live life here and try to get caught up on your day home. And like having that gym here is played such a huge part of me being able to heal. I don't want to ever touch it or dismantle it. Like I want to leave it and let people come here and like just have the property, but like nobody on Airbnb. I want to literally do it on Ryback's house for wrestling fans to come stay here when they're in Vegas, to stay where I lived for 10 years, overcoming all this bullshit. And I don't know, and that way it just preserves that for me. But like that I have stuff just mapped out that I want to do, and like, but the first thing it was getting healthy and get my body back, because without that, health is wealth, and nothing else means shit if you're not healthy. So.
Damn, that would be just so cool. Like, you already booked. I'm going to have to keep an eye out and see if you do that, because I just would love the opportunity to work out in your gym. That would just be so badass. I love the Hogan that you have out there, Brock. And I can't recall where I heard you say this, whether it was your book or something else, but you spoke about colors and the choices that you chose for the house and how those impact your mood and everything. The vision boards and the choices. Like, I didn't start using a vision board till I heard your audiobook and talking about that. That was so cool. Something I've kind of kicked around an idea of for your Goldberg match, if that ends up coming to fruition as an independent thing, you got to have Michael Buffer as the announcer for it.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Never even thought about that.
That would just be so badass. You do the undercard. It'd be badass if you could do the undercard with like boxing and mix the sports a little bit, but I'm not sure if the ring would allow that, because I know there's differences between the boxing and the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
But that would just be so cool if you do your undercard, Buffer comes out, let's get ready to rumble. He was such a big part that I don't want to say I forgot about, but that was such a cool part of the Monday Night Wars that was in WCW of the things that they did that stood out, that made them feel bigger than WWE at the time. And that was a big part of it. No, I was a big Nitro fan. Same. I was a WCW guy back in the day. I wasn't really a Raw guy until about started really watching WWF again in 05. And man, just let's get ready to rumble, time for the main event. The way that he would announce that, especially when Goldberg was on his tear and he was the champion doing the main events, it added to it. So like as Goldberg's final match, that announcer, you across the ring from him, it's money. Brother, that is a fantastic idea, and I greatly appreciate. That is something that I am going to mark down, and obviously that I think that you're spot on. That would no matter where that's at, that would add a feel. Was that Bischoff's idea with that? Do you know? Yeah, I believe it was. What Bischoff, a great idea, man, with that Bischoff to do that, because I remember that it was such a play that just made everything feel that much more special back then. It made it different too, because Vince at the time was so dead set on being this family-friendly, clean thing, And then, like, with how petty of a man he is, that man's autobiography or whatever stories people, Brawler specifically, can tell about the man from behind the curtain is just fascinating to see a peek into his brain, however strange it is. But he is so petty. Like the Hogan parody that he did, a Billionaire Ted, it was like, dude, this is not working. And then you flip over and Kevin Nash is throwing Rey Mysterio like a lawn dart.
Yep. I remember watching that as a kid, a teenager, and just being in awe, watching everything taking place.
Absolutely incredible. I'm really pulling for you on the Goldberg stuff, and I hope it comes to fruition. Man, I got to get going, so you take care and have a great rest of your day. It's always a pleasure to check in with you.
You too, Matt. Thank you very much, and take care.
You too, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good deal. Thank you, Matt. Ryback Show regular. Greatly appreciated. We've got Aiden, the Ryback fan, 2023. I don't know. That could be Chase. He's using a picture of me. It could also not be Chase. Hello.
Hello, my name's Aiden.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Good deal. What's on your mind?
I'm just here to. I'm happy I'm talking to you. You're my favorite wrestler, man.
Thank you very much. I thought you might have been Chase for a second with the picture. I didn't know.
Chase.
I'm glad to know it's just a fan. That makes me very happy.
I have a statement on Chase. I hope that guy gets caught because the way he's talking to you is bad.
I agree. I think he's in for a rude awakening here very shortly.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry you guys all had to hear this, and I'm trying to take something that's very negative, and I know I joke around and have some fun with it, but it is an extremely serious, very urgent matter. And I'm hoping today to have an update with on the process of what's going on. I do believe he's going to be visited today, though, by some friends. So,
yeah, it is. Mental health is a serious thing.
Absolutely, and we've seen in recent years with people like this in the mass shootings, and this guy having a criminal background, and the detail that he's put into everything. That this is not going to work out well for him. The FBI, I can assure you, and this is not bullshit. The FBI is taking this very, very serious with everything that they're learning as this is going on. So,
yeah, and he's going to go away for a long time, and he needs to know this. We're on to him.
They are fully aware. So it's just now. We're just waiting to get everything all in order with Twitter, and then eventually YouTube will be processed. But all we need is the Twitter and this. But the YouTube stuff will which he's still active on YouTube as we speak. So he's gonna. I don't know. He's clearly not thinking with all of it. But it's everything that he's doing is just going to be used against him, further evidence. So whether he cares or not, I don't think that's the case. So.
You are my favorite wrestler, yeah. And WWE, you were good. You're still my favorite wrestler to this day.
Thank you. I'm just cutting promos these days, but we're going to be back in wrestling at some point. So
I hope you get that match with Goldberg. And that would be a really good match. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to do everything I can here, and we got to get this Chase stuff wrapped up. And I'm very optimistic. At some point in time, we're going to get this all. I've always been protected, and like. I've been tested in ways that have made me stronger, and I realize everything going on is we're at the finish line, and I'm going to do everything, and all your guys' love and support give me extra motivation. Not that I need it, but it's good to have that support, and where you can kind of, obviously I want to come back and be able, for me and my goals and for my family, but I want to prove my supporters right. I could care less about the hate and the negativity, and I block that out, and I don't care about proving anybody wrong. I want to prove my supporters right and show them and finish the story that everybody that believed in 2012 that my prime Ryback run is going to happen, and we're going to hopefully share this journey together. So thank you.
You're welcome, Ryback. And yeah, so my favorite match of yours might be Punk versus Ryback, and
thank you.
So yeah, CM Punk right now, I don't know, but
we'll see. Well, you never. I thank you very much, and I'm happy he's back in wrestling. I think he can contribute in a positive way if he chooses to, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, Ryback in AEW would be really different if that happened. I would start watching, and I mean,
thank you.
Wrestling. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, I'm gonna let another caller come on here. I have a few people I want to get on, but Aiden, thank you, and you're welcome on anytime if you have any other questions. And I can't thank you enough for the support.
All right.
All right. You have a good day. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Aiden. Great to hear from you. Very, very good. Let me see here. Do we have a new highly entertained? We'll bring highly entertained onto the Ryback show. Let me actually highly entertained. I'm going to 1 second. Give me 1 second, highly entertained. Let me enter a super chat here. Somebody says, the Blazing Kitties. I don't know if you're a gamer, Ryback, but what do you think of AEW Fight Forever game? And would you ever do a gaming stream on Twitch? I'm going to have to get that one because I didn't even realize it came out right after I got 2K23. If somebody's able to create me in that, I have no problem playing. I want to play as me going into lobbies and playing against other people. But even with that, I guess it's okay if I don't on that. I don't know what the creator wrestler is like on that. But I'm not opposed. I very well may get that. I'm enjoying. I just got 2K23, but I haven't seen from what I've seen essentially just online of the AEW game. And I know Kenny Omega is put out a thing and they're open to all feedback and taking in any complaints. And they seem to have a great attitude on everything on like where they're going to be making fixes for the games on maybe any technical glitches or problems that the masses may have. And I think that's really cool how they're handling that. And obviously, Kenny being a gamer, I think that's an advantage they have over WWE and being involved in the creation of that game. So for everything I've seen that they're doing, they seem to be handling it really, really well. I think I missed another. Let me get one more super chat here. Jay Bradbury, thank you. Another 20 spot, Jay. The hell with it for the masseuse. Thank you very much, Jay. The shoulder masseuse has been put off since this Chase stuff. So that is going to go into the shoulder relief fund. So thank you very much. Always greatly appreciated. All right. Highly entertained. Sorry about the wait there. Welcome to the Ryback show.
All good. It's all good, Ryback. I wanted to come on here for a while and talk to you. Give you your flowers. I enjoyed your run in WWE. And I would like to see you in AEW Impact. Are you interested in going to like Impact or stuff like that? I know you said you'd like to go to AEW, but what about like Impact and New Japan and MLW and all that stuff?
Yeah, I think I'm going to be open to anything. I love wrestling, and you got to understand it. And obviously, I want to be seen by the most people possible doing this in with what I have and what I've overcome. Obviously, though, that's going to depend on, like, I've been very honest to go with things. Very well, I get cleared and I get a conversation or a meeting with Tony. He very well may just say, look, I'm not interested. I don't know. I've never spoken with him. I know people that know him. I know a lot of people there that like me with things. I know a few people there that I've had issues with, which that never has stopped anything in the wrestling world on any of that. I know people that work for Impact that speak very highly of that over there. And I just somebody mentioned last week, I go, absolutely. Once I'm cleared, I'm going to start having those conversations. I can tell you too, I'm getting a lot of independent bookings coming in, and I'm not even cleared yet. And for September, October, November, December, and I'm like, man, this is going to be, so the moment I announce I'm cleared, I anticipate that's going to go up even more. I think no matter what, I'm going to have some options. So it's just a matter of me sitting down and seeing what is available, what the feedback is from the different people I talk to, and see what can or can't be done with it. I'm not going to, it would be foolish of me though to say no to anything, when I'm not even back yet with that. And anybody, the people of, I'm very, open-minded with all of this. And to me, and having my social media and having my revenue and my business, and I can kind of I don't got to get so caught up in necessarily trying to get a spot in wrestling where I look at things where I go, hell, I may be able to work out a deal to go tell a story and Impact for 3 or 4 months and license out my name to them for a year or two, and with no restrictions on it, where I can continue doing my stuff. Then I could go on, maybe work a program in AEW or two. Then maybe there's a program to go work in New Japan. I think I have an opportunity, if I handle this correctly, to do something that not a lot of wrestlers have really done, owning my own brand in my business, which is why I wanted my trademark. And you know, I can license out my name. I think it would be really cool to be, and nobody could stop me from this, by the way. I can literally, and if this is, again, companies want to do business, companies could literally license out the Ryback name for a year. And as long as I get it in right and it's no restrictions, I could possibly have a licensing agreement with Impact, with AEW, with New Japan, with myself. There's nothing stopping that now because I own my brand. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it's just a matter of seeing, you know, what they think is possible, what business can be done, what story could be told, and then going and doing it. I think I can go do independent promotions and put it on my Ryback TV, pop up. I can only maybe do only 2 or 3 TV matches a year. That might be a possibility. You know, I might have a conversation. They go, look, we would like maybe something more long term. Then I'm open to hearing that conversation. But I don't know what it's all going to be yet. I'm not ruling anything out, though. You know, and MLW has been in contact in the past, and they've been very kind to me. I had explained, and this was a couple years ago. I go, I'm not cleared. I'm sorry, I can't do anything yet, and I apologize. But I think that's something, and I don't know where they're at now with things. Those are all things that I'm more than open to having those conversations once I get cleared, and I could actually know that I'm going to be back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I got one more question for you. I really enjoyed your work with Curtis Axel when y'all was Ryback and stuff. And y'all were actually one of my favorite, if not my favorite tag team at the time doing when y'all was Ryback. So were there ever talks of like putting the tag team titles on y'all at that point?
We wrestled for them, I think, multiple times against when Stardust and Goldust. I think they had the titles. I don't know who else had them prior that we worked. I know we wrestled for them. I feel like a handful of times, if I'm not mistaken. But were we
ever talked of like actually putting the
no, and because that was my quote unquote punishment period on that, and I always explain that to Axel with things legally that was going on. And I don't think that was ever going to be the case. But eventually, and when we broke up and we did the split, and then I came back and had the singles run. But nobody had ever told us at any point in time that they were ever thinking about putting the titles on us. And usually that stuff, though, if it were to happen, they don't tell you sometimes until the last minute anyways. You know, like we had matches the day we never once really expected, like when we had matches for the titles, we just knew the way things were going. We never expected them to, when the producers came up to give us the finish of the match, we were just waiting for which one of us was taking the pinfall, which was usually Axeman. They protected me by having him take the pinfalls more often than not. And that was always the rib on that Henning took all the pins so I could stay really, really, really over. And he was the weak link, but it wasn't. He was the strong link of the team. So,
yeah, I appreciate you talking to you, Ryback. I do want to see you on television again, sir. So, have a good one, and I'll always be supporting whether it's in the space or on your YouTube, Twitch, wherever. And I hope you win this battle against Chase. So, but I appreciate you.
Likewise, brother. Thank you very much. You have a great day.
You too.
Take care. Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Great fans here on the Ryback Show, guys. The People's Podcast. I will update everyone listening through the show. We are doing 40% off Feed Me More Nutrition till 4 p.m. today on feedmemore.com, and all Ryback merch. Discount code Independence40, Independence40, and a free shaker bottle, guys, with all orders on feedmemore.com. Thank you very much. And then let's go ahead and get another caller here on the show. Pardon me, too. I'm really enjoying this format of the show. I was thinking, because I'm always used to keep the show at an hour. Then about an hour and a half is usually what we do the show. Hour 30, hour 40. And I was thinking yesterday, I go, man, I go, I can see myself eventually getting this show. It's going to start hitting 2, and when some of those Chase episodes hit 2.5, 3 hours, I want to, if this show continues to go well and we keep the random people popping in, you know, I'm not opposed to going 3 hours long. We yesterday, Twitter Spaces, I don't know if we've got over 3,000 listens on Twitter Spaces on yesterday's show. And this started off where it was only getting a couple hundred listens, and that's just on Twitter Spaces. That's not on all the other platforms. We're getting, I don't know if we're not on TikTok anymore. I don't know if it's 20, 25, 30,000 across all right around that, hovering around that, but it keeps going up on overall everything, just more and more and more listens. And I really think with what we're doing, we're going to start getting back into that top 20, top 10, top 15 here sooner than later with the way everything's going with all of that. And I'm really thankful for everybody on Twitter Spaces that are making this show. 4 years, I've wanted 3-4 years to do this format that was not available to do it like this. And where Twitter Spaces you get all your followers, and it's really, really cool. So thank you. Let me see here if this is the Chase account from yesterday, the fake account pretending to be Chase, possibly. We'll give it a shot. See, Chase, is that you, bud? It's not. You want to say anything today or no? No. Okay. Chase has his own little fake account. We'll see. Prince Noah, you got a question? Welcome to the Ryback Show, Prince. What's going on?
What's up, Ryback? How you doing?
I'm well. How are you today?
Pretty good.
What's on your mind? Oh, we lost Prince. Well, thank you very much, Prince. Hopefully we'll have you back. Take another caller here. Oh, we got Autumn yesterday. I want Autumn to give us an update. Autumn with her was it her MMA class on the hips? I want to get an update. Hello, Autumn. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I hope you have a very good update for us.
I do.
So what happened? Did you end up talking to the instructor yesterday?
Yes, and it actually the business was actually the lead class last night. So the instructor that was saying then move my hips and stuff, he actually the first thing out of the box they did kicks, and he actually went right beside me and did it with me.
Very nice. So you talked to him and he gave you some examples and showed you what to do.
Yes. And I actually got the list. The lady that worked the front desk printed me out the drills, but it wasn't for just my hips. She gave me the drills for the next, the whole cycle, because testing happens in September, like to belt up.
I love it.
Gave me a whole list.
They gave you everything that you need, and you just got to practice the repetitions, right? Are you there?
Oh, my internet's going in and out. There's a storm rolling in the area.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I know I heard you enough. But do you feel a lot better than you did yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Like,
good.
I was kind of in my head, and like one of the other, it's hard to explain because they're like instructors, but they're not the instructor. They're like the helpers in the class.
Yep.
Come by. One of them just like reached me and like gave me a big old bear hug, and he's like, it was very welcoming, and it just like everything you said was playing out. And then like last night, Dynamite, I think, or whatever AEW is, I watched clips of it online. They were throwing elbows, which we were working on last night. So it was just funny how all this kind of worked together. I make connections and stuff. I see patterns.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm sorry, I'm just shutting my IG live off. Good. I'm very happy for you. And you took initiative, you took action, and now you're going to reap the rewards of the results.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for giving us an update on that, and keep that mindset with other things as well. And I appreciate you sharing that with all of us.
Well, it's kind of funny. I actually have a country music friend. Never met him in person, but they've been emailing me. A musician. I had a comment about him and his wife. or whatever, and they were putting videos of them together. And I was like, oh, how sweet. And I said, I hope someday to find my idiot, you know, because his wife was calling him an idiot. And he's like, you will someday. So it's like all these patterns of like, just be there, be consistent, be aware of your surroundings.
Absolutely. So, I love it. You're doing it. And yet
it's being taught right now.
You know, you just keep that mindset with other things and you're going to see. So great job.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Well, I look forward to having you back on again and hopefully with more positive news.
Will do.
All right. Have a good day, Autumn.
You too.
Bye-bye. Fantastic. That is, that makes me very, very happy. Let me see here who we have on the Ryback show. Bring on John Miner. John Miner to the Ryback show. John, welcome. What's going on?
The big guy Ryback. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. I got a follow from the big guy. I got a follow from the Brooklyn Brawler. Man, I'll tell you, for those who have any, doubts about your personality or who you really are, people really got to look at somebody like the Brooklyn Brawler, who is so incredibly ingrained in the WWE inner workings, that for somebody like him to say that you were a good person, you were somebody who worked. If I'm not mistaken, your last match was against Kalisto, correct?
Correct. Yes.
That match, if I remember, he almost botched the move. You caught him, but you were so unhappy and you were so reckless in the ring. People don't see that stuff. And I applaud you, man, because you take a lot of heat, and I don't think you get the credit you deserve for the positivity that you do bring to the world. It's
Thank
awesome.
you. Well, I know that I can tell you, I know, and here's how I'm able to go on each day is I know the truth. And I know that the people that are spreading the hate or coming at me with hate, I know that they don't know the truth. And I don't let their idea of what they think is the truth become mine, because I actually have lived it and know from my real world experience. And so I don't let their lies become my truth, if that makes sense. And I'm able just to keep going one day at a time. And I truly believe that the greatest stories in life have to sometimes overcome the biggest hurdles. And I always tell myself everything that happens is for my favor and benefit. And even as negative as it may seem, I'm going to turn it into the biggest positive ever at some point in time. And that just allows me to go one day at a time. And the tide has already started shifting. And, the social media suppression and everything. And I just go, it can drive you crazy. But it allowed me to then just focus on more of what I can control each day, still fight to try to get the things fixed, but don't stop working. Even if the things weren't being rewarded like they should have been, I always told people on this show, it's like a slingshot getting pulled back, and I'm just going to keep loading that slingshot in, and eventually that slingshot is going to get let go, and we're going to be off to the races. So that's just the mindset that I kind of have with it all.
Exactly. Positivity breeds positivity. It takes a lot of work to be negative, especially when they don't feed into it right away. And
yep.
I do a lot of motivational speaking, and I tell my personal life story a lot on TikTok. And it sucks that you're not on TikTok, because that's where I was watching it primarily. I've been through some things in life that people enjoy when I'm on live, and I talk about my story, about the things that I've been through. It gives them inspiration. It's so much easier to just be positive and just give somebody a smile. You never know what a smile could do for them. You could literally save their life. You wouldn't even know it. You don't have to. By doing just the right thing, eventually that positive karma is going to come back. And, like I said, man, it's awesome to see what you're doing on here. That conversation between you and Brooklyn Brawler yesterday, I know I put it in Twitter already. That was an amazing conversation. I was so happy to have been there and heard that, because, a lot of people don't get to hear that stuff. And like I said, if they did, they might have a little bit of a different outlook on the big guy.
Yeah. No, that's somebody, like you said, that is heavily figured into the business and has seen it all. And he does, man, me and him have always, from day one, he knows the truth. He knows all the lies that are out there, and he lives his stuff too, and has to deal with his own stuff as well as we all do. But he knows the truth with me, and he knows what really happened with that. And he chooses to come on here, and it's like, I have nothing but love and respect for him, because he doesn't have to do that. And it's one of those, I'm very, he's such a great guy. And I want to see people too give him the respect that he deserves, because, man, he's awesome.
Yeah. And man, I'm really also, I would props for the fact that you're not, rushing back into wrestling, man, because, the injuries that you have, people don't realize necessarily. I'm no doctor, but I've listened to you talk about your injuries, and they're no joke, man.
Yeah.
There's people that I know. I used to train for OSPW promotion out of Buffalo, New York, and I know some guys there that one of them. Quick story about him. He actually got into. He was doing a security job during the Brock Lesnar Goldberg promo.
Yep.
Where they had security guards in the ring.
Yep.
That might be as far as he gets ever into the WWE. And he works day in and day out to put on a show for people. People don't realize how hard that business is. So, if everybody actually took a step back and said, you know what, it's still entertainment. We have to make sure that we understand these guys do get hurt. It's not, I hate the word fake, but it's all a story. You guys are all
it's physical acting, but it's the hardest acting in the world. It's the hardest job in the world. The abuse.
I wish somebody could run the ropes for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Run the ropes for 30 seconds. I promise you will have a whole newfound respect for the wrestling business on that alone.
That and take a bump and feel what a bump. It's like getting in a car wreck every time of your body, and you got to learn to tuck your head, or you're going to get concussions and
especially further toward the edge of the ring.
Yeah, I wish every person that did. I just wish they could experience it because and understand the level of cardio and conditioning you need just to even do a 5-minute match. How 99% of the world probably couldn't do that. And that's why all the men and women that do this and do it at a high level and make it that they made it for a reason. And I just wish there was more love and respect from the people that reported on it in general, rather than try to create more hate and drama and negativity. It's one thing when we're in the roles and playing the roles and eat it up and we're working in that, but like in our real lives and in the day-to-day lives. And I just wish people, and there are a lot of people like you, and there are a lot of great people that get it and do respect everything with that. But I just wish it was a little more common. And the only thing we can do is talk about it more and shine light on all aspects of it to help raise people's awareness of what's going on.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's like I said, I can't wait to see where you go with this. And I hope everything heals up great to where we all see you wrestle. I met Goldberg years and years and years ago. I grew up the biggest fan of the world of him. I mean, one of my first tattoos was actually the tribal he guys.
That was a lot of people's first tattoo. He was that big of it where a lot of people got that tattoo that he had.
Braun Breaker got a tattoo similar to Goldberg's, and everybody called bust chops over that. Says, "Oh, you got that for Goldberg." Being Scott Steiner's son, of course, that rubs different ways. So I'll tell you, man. I picture you being very similar to him when it comes to fans, because I remember watching you, coming up from Nexus, Skip Sheffield. As soon as you went into that Ryback character, man, I remember seeing kids all over the place with Ryback gear. I think you at one point, didn't you come close to some of the highest merch sales out there?
I don't know specifically. I can tell you that there were so many crazy things going on. It was an insane rise that started happening. I'll never forget CM Punk, I think, was notified of something of the numbers, and he came over and he saw like one of the merch sheets. It was me. It was Cena and me were the top two on live events and everything. And they stopped making new things for me so that I would not surpass him. And not to say, I don't know if I ever surpassed him on certain things. I know on some nights that I did, which that hadn't been done at any point up until that point. So I could tell you that I was getting, and these are from the reports that I was getting, the merch guys started giving me the numbers. And up to that point, only Cena was getting the numbers. They started giving me the numbers because they thought I was going to be the new number one. Then that got shut down really quickly. And I don't know who did what and what on what. I know that there were nights that I was out selling him on the signed photos pretty good, like pretty solid. And consistently on certain things, but he had like twice the amount of merch that I had. And I don't know about like online sales or anything. I can only speak on and I don't know, somebody else would probably have access to exactly what things were. They were not bad though. I could tell you that much. I really quickly got thrusted into a top position and was backing it up with the numbers. Then it got removed. So I didn't get a chance to continue to do that, unfortunately, but at one point for a continued period of time, it was very nice.
Yeah, and that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like I said, kids loved you, and I picture you being very similar to him. When I met Goldberg, he was the most down to earth, humble human being I'd ever met. They say, "Don't meet your heroes; you're bound for disappointment." I can tell you right now, was not disappointed, and I don't believe that anybody would be disappointed in meeting you out in public or at a signing. Paul Heyman said it about Goldberg during an interview. He said, "We could all aspire to be half the father that Goldberg is to his son."
Yeah.
And again, it's I would love to see you two get in the ring. A lot of people, I think, because you were doing a lot of squash matches right there in the beginning.
Yep.
Everyone says, "Oh, Goldberg can't wrestle. Goldberg can't wrestle." Well, it's because they didn't want Goldberg to wrestle. He wasn't supposed to be a wrestler. He was supposed to be somebody.
He played the role that he was asked to go out and play perfectly.
And nobody understood that, and still to this day, people don't understand that. I think that's why, I know that's where you got a lot of your, resemblances to him, and why people started, thinking, "Oh, they're trying to rebuild Goldberg."
It was never that, though. Yeah. It was never. I can tell you firsthand. That was all. That's all dirt sheet lies. There was never one in directive or in instruction to be Goldberg. Not literally nothing. And I don't. Outside of the similar, maybe the bald head and the traps. With that, I don't think there are. That's why I want to do this match so badly, is I want to show people that the two differences and highlight each in a positive way on how we are. And they're sure there are going to be some similarities in the intensity and whatnot on different things. But, I look at it as a huge opportunity to show just how different we really are, where we both could benefit from it. So we'll see if that opportunity comes up.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, I pray for not just you, because I can only imagine for you it's almost like it's a dream match. But at the end of the day, Goldberg is going to do what he's going to do, and I hope he has the success that he continues to have in his life. And people got to stop listening to dirt sheets. It has the name dirt right in it. Unless they have a specific, they have to quote saying the person said it. Otherwise, they be sued and all that. They have to have proof of somebody doing something. And when people talk about you, 9 times out of 10, it's all chopped and put together pieces of information, just like our news media. It's all garbage. Unless you get it straight from the horse's mouth, people got to stop feeding into this crap. It's all clickbait.
It is, but I think it's important doing shows like this and talking and too, like I think this is a great way, and I'm joking calling it the People's Podcast, but I'm giving you guys a platform. I don't know who's going to come on and whatnot, but it's like if you maybe read something and that you don't think is true or you're uncertain about, you have access to asking me about that, where maybe I could elaborate further for you as well, and where we could kind of nip some of these things in the butt of like where they sometimes, because I did this forever, you don't address, you just block and you move on, and then they just keep putting lie after lie. Well, eventually people just start believing the lies.
And that's where you did it with Chase. You gave him the chance to explain why he was mad. You gave him that floor.
Yep.
Everybody heard it. You even offered to give him the chance to come try and fight you and handle it.
Yeah.
He didn't take it. It is what it is. He's going to handle that the way he's got to handle it. Again, I know you already thanked me in my tweet, but I want to make sure everybody understands it. The thing, if you didn't know the things that this man said to the big guy here, unspeakable things that should never even be thought of. Dude, kudos to you for keeping your composure, allowing him to still try and explain what the situation was, why he was pissed, and handling it the way you did. Because I don't think very many people in the world could have truly done that with the things he said. Because like I said, I've talked to friends outside of here and said, "Hey, yeah, did you hear the crap that was said?" Man, I'm not even going to sit here and try and hint at you what it was about, because it's that bad. You don't say that stuff, period. So kudos to you, man. I'm not going to take up any more of your time. I'm sure you got other callers. I'm thankful beyond reason that I got to talk to you today, and thank you for all that you've done in entertaining us and allowing us to have these conversations with you as well. Because again, knowledge is power, and without that, we're all lost.
I agree.
Stay blessed, my friend. If no one told you today, you're worth it, man. Because everybody deserves to be happy, and we all got to push forward and keep being positive. It's not hard to do. Smiles are contagious.
John, I agree with you 100%, and you're welcome on any time on here, brother. So thank you.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, you have a blessed rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing what happens in the future.
Likewise. Be safe.
Thanks. You too.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate you subscribing, John, as well on there, guys, on the Twitter. And no one has to. You don't have to subscribe to be a part of this show. I welcome anybody to come on that has any questions, comments, or concerns. I try to get new people on here as much as possible. I will get to the Ryback Show regulars as well, too. And it's Jamaica, good to see you. I hope you're doing well, hon. Good to see you in here. Taking a look here real quick. Let me make sure our super chats here before I take another call. I've got to balance out the super chats that I make sure I don't miss, because sometimes they could. I noticed Chase stopped spamming once he knew that we are they're going to be sending a subpoena to YouTube on that. So that's good. I don't think he doesn't understand that they're going to be able to get everything with like the nothing. Like I said, they've already got back. There was a 350-page file that one of my great followers on Twitter was able, that is a tech savvy individual. And it looks like thousands of accounts dating 6 years back, allegedly, 350-page report that was sent over to the FBI files. This is not the 12 years. This is 6 years, guys, thousands on one platform. We are dealing with an extremely sick individual on all of this. And I knew what I was dealing with the moment he revealed himself. And that week that he said he was going to put a bullet in my head. And I had to, that call on Monday, and then him recounting everything, and then me finding the phone and knowing who he was and having him back on and allowing him to continue to say the things. And it definitely was not easy, but I knew what I had to do on this, and in the FBI, and thank God. And, but I apologize once again to everybody that did have to hear that, and nobody should ever have to hear anything like that. And those are not empty threats. And I don't know if you guys understand, somebody that's just telling you to leave your house, and they're going to take advantage of the situation of the things that you love. And saying that if they go to prison, or their life purpose over and over is to kill me and to torture my family and to torture and kill me, literally saying that's their life purpose, and that even if they go to prison, they're going to come out, they're going to do it. I'm thankful that is all on air, that was said publicly and not privately or anything, where everyone could hear that, and that will be heard in court. And the FBI, they know exactly what they are dealing with a criminal background, and it is somebody that is not well. And I hope that this is all taken into consideration. I hope that I am able to be called upon and to testify and to speak from the heart on all of this, that somebody like this does not deserve to be amongst the rest of us. They don't. And he's done. I could tell you, we have a connection with him trying to rape another individual that was not caught. And there's a lot more to this monster out there that is going to come out. And they're going to go through his search history. They're going to have access to everything. This is for him to think that there's no deal that could be made. There's nothing that they're going to be able to try to get him off with, that he needs mental help. They are going to take him and put him away as long as possible. His life is over. And he's literally in it. And hopefully that process begins today with all of this. But I knew the responsibility that I had knowing this individual, and then putting it all together when he revealed all the harassment, and everything was clicking on all the blocks that I'd made over specific things that he was saying, and just over and over and over. And I knew, and it just into the Twitter and the YouTube chat, and it's all the same things that he just unloaded on, and he dug himself his own grave. So. All right, let's see here. Take another caller here, guys. I know Aiden wanted to come on the other day. We'll get Aiden on. We'll try to limit things to one question now, guys, so we can get a few other callers on before we end today's show. Aiden, what's going on, buddy?
Hey there, Ryback. How are you? Can you hear me, man?
I can hear you loud and clear. What's going on today?
Thank you very much for having me on. I know I was on 2 weeks ago, twice in 2 weeks. It's a privilege.
Oh, you're welcome. I let you guys on. I try to just get new callers to get everybody on, and I'm always going to come back. I have a good memory, though. I can remember you guys.
Yeah, I do a lot of stuff on Twitter. I'm always RT and QT, and then I've been getting like yourself. I'm sure this Jordan girl, she's still at it today.
That's Chase, just so everybody. That is Chase. He's pretending to be females on Twitter as well, just so people know.
Yeah, Layla Kent as
well. That
is
him as well, yes. That has been allegedly confirmed.
Those accounts are still active, though. It's really weird. I'm still getting direct messages, and I'm still getting a bit of hate. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But
they're 24/7. They're spreading hate to all my followers and the different people. Yeah. I'm telling you, it is absurd. the level that this has gone on, and that this is all going to be, but all this stuff is when Twitter has to hand over all this, everything that he might think that things are deleted, those things are not deleted on their end of things.
No.
So
no.
This is all, I apologize you're going through this as well, but you're actually playing a good part of this is going to help keep them away even longer. So.
Yeah, and I've taken, you're many steps ahead of me, but I do have a lot of screenshots as well. And I know screenshots as well. Some of the stuff that was said verbally as well was just absolutely outrageous. And the mental health side of things, yes, there's a need for mental health, but by no means can that be used as a reason. Like, there's no insanity clause to like stay out of jail or anything like that, because it goes deeper than mental health. There's actually severe criminal activity here, severe,
and he has a criminal background as well, which is not gonna. That is what is really going to be helpful. That this isn't just going to be a first-time offense. He has a criminal background already. So
interesting. Yeah. Person, like mental health, absolutely. And I do hope the person gets mental health treatment, but there has to be a jail sentence. There has to be a custodial sentence for this Chase or whoever his name is.
Brandon Chase. Yeah, Salehi Nassab.
And, finally, some of the, I'm really sorry for all this trouble you're getting. Steve Carrier, I'm not sure if you were even aware of him up until a few days ago, because he is a nobody, but he's threatened Anna Jay in AEW. He's threatened Soraya. He's threatened Nyla Rose. He's even put some DM that Tony Khan sent him. Tony was actually getting some nasty messages, and Tony reached out and said, "Sorry, how are you? Who are you? Can I help?" And he blasted him as well, and he put on the screen up. He's just like this other guy's Billy Batty. You might have heard him. Not even going to comment there. He's scum, and those other guys. But your name is still very, very strong. I was wondering, is there any update on Busted Open or any other shows? Francine was great. Rip Rogers was great. Stevie Richards was great. Any more?
I'm waiting. So I put out all those things to the people that had said things. I called into Busted Open and waited for 45 minutes to go on the show with Bubba and Tommy. Just to have, I get along well with Bubba and Tommy. They both have been wrestled with Bubba with him alongside with multiple tag matches in WWE and talked quite a bit when he was there. And I told the producers, they were very nervous about having me on. I don't know if they thought I was going to come at Tommy and Bull. I go, no, I just want to shoot the shit. I go, I don't even care if we talk about the Mark Henry shit like with that. But I go, because they told me, well, Mark's not here. And I go, I don't even care. I'm just calling in to get on the show. And I just want to promote maybe the Goldberg stuff if I can. If not, I go, fuck it. And they go, they couldn't get me on. And then they told me, they go, well, we'll make time to have you on. I don't know if they want to advertise it or whatnot. And then I'm going to come on. But then Mark put out the thing and they go, we have your number. We'll call you back. And then Mark comes out and says, after I put out the tweet, that he's all for it. Right. Which I don't know if that was just I know I could tell you what I think about that it's saving face doing that. And behind the scenes, it's no, we're not having him on because unfortunately, I could talk just like this that we're talking and not argue. And I will just simply state the facts of everything. And and Mark, they all know this. They know that it's not going to look good for Mark with the things that Mark said because Mark lied. Yeah. And I'm telling you, he's going to do everything he can because his reputation is on the line with this now. With it, and they think they're just hoping it blows over. And the problem is he did that for WWE to ruin and hurt me. The truth always wins with this. And that's something like it's even like I think it would be better that he comes out and goes, look, I handled this wrong. I said things I shouldn't have said. I didn't know what I was saying on certain things. And I didn't believe them to be true. And I was wrong. And I let my personal feeling, whatever it is, and then just move past it and that would be the best route that he could take to get past this. But instead it's not because I think he's afraid it's going to ruin his reputation rather than look, I got angry but I'm telling you, it came from WWE. And that's where the problem with all of this is. And so it's just like, they're going to avoid having me on. And this is my personal opinion. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. And they call me in a week or two and go, sorry for the delay. Let's go. I've been dealing with this Chase stuff anyways, but I'm waiting. I told the Cornet, all of them, Dutch, let's talk. I just want you guys to see, and you guys have heard enough from me. I just want you guys to see that this isn't coming from my end, that it's really easy to talk shit and be hateful. I just want to come on and talk. We don't even have to address anything. Let's just talk wrestling. Let's just see. But nothing. And I think that's very telling in itself.
Yeah, it's a real shame. Dutch Mantel as well, you know, lost a lot of respect there as well.
Yeah, it doesn't have to. He was always nice to me. I don't get it, but
Yeah.
I think it's apart from WWE, and people are going to do what they can to stay in good graces with them. And I've been careful this whole time not to make this with me against wrestlers and try to get along and be positive. It's me with the company, and that's it. And I have people there I support. I don't get mad at anyone that works there. I understand it. And like, I think that's been, you know, we always heard like with Punk, he quit talking to guys that were there. I've never done that with anyone. I'm not like that. I can still talk good about WWE on things despite my personal issues with it. And it's like, I just don't
You're
get it.
reasonable. You're extremely reasonable on the phone, or sorry, on the Twitter Spaces.
Thank you.
You're very professional. Like the last chap said as well, a lot of positivity coming from you. The last thing I'll say is, well, again, these are nobody's Cassidy Haynes body slam. You know, they're doing a lot of all the Steve Carrier messages and tweets, and they're putting them out. But it doesn't have any significance. You know, unfortunately, the suppression comes into it, and I can see Carrier's tweets getting a certain amount of traction, and yours, unfortunately, not getting this.
I noticed this yesterday as well. He has they have 100 and something thousand people, or his account with hardly any. They're getting hundreds of thousands of impressions, and me with my almost 1.4 million get hardly any compared to that.
Unbelievable,
right?
He got 130,000 tweet or impressions yesterday on one of those hateful, and I think you got maybe it might have been as low as 15 or 20.
Mine, and that's way better than they ever had been prior to Elon. Before, I was getting stuck around 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 tops.
Jesus.
And this is where now I'm getting like 1 or 2%, and some might trickle, but I can't go viral almost on anything. I saw on my stuff going on when I revealed Chase, that one I think got to like 110 or 112,000. But like I saw like Dustin Rhodes, who, and I love Dustin, and I'm just showing you comparisons, made a tweet about a dog that like nothing bad, just like a positive tweet about his dog. And that got like 200 and something thousand impressions, and he has nowhere near the following. And I just go, something is clearly really off with this. And I'm just using that as an example for people to understand. He's getting what he should get, but there's restrictive coding that they still have on my account that is not right. And this is where it's preventing me from getting the reach. And so, but when this shit happens, how the fuck is that guy getting way more impressions than me when I've got this huge following?
I know, nearly 10 times as many.
Yeah.
And this new lady, Linda, who works for Elon Musk, she just doesn't reply to anything that you write.
No, nothing. But I do it just to publicly so it exists, that it's out there, so that this stuff can exist for court records later if I have to go that route.
Well, that's the important thing, and we all have your back. And like I say, I'll just say you have full support from Ireland here as well.
Thank you.
You're always welcome here, and keep up the positivity, because you know it keeps me going in the gym, keeps me going on days when I'm low. Chase is going to jail. Steve Carrier is going to the bar, the pub to get drunk, and you're going to the top.
Thank you very much, brother. You're welcome on any time. I always appreciate the support.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good deal. Just try to do with the Jordan Garcia and Layla Kent accounts. I understand. Like, I apologize to any of you. I know a lot of you have gotten hateful messages, and I'm sorry that you guys have gotten dragged into this as well. It's not cool. It's not right. But just know that we're doing everything. We've got great people working on this, and this is not going away. It's just, unfortunately, with Twitter, I think and I was also notified there's new rules going on with the FBI and like social media companies. There's some new laws or some new things going on where I don't know if that has taken part of making things delayed and getting the information. They are going to get it, though. They're going to get everything. He was already notified yesterday from Twitter that the subpoena, and I know they're today, I believe, going to be filing with YouTube as well, because they've got all his information now with everything, and they're literally building the case. And I had a long talk with the detective, the Vegas detective today, who's assigned to my case, as he's getting things done on his end, working with the Birmingham police and local FBI agents over there on what the game plan is going to be on everything. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But no matter, even if he is not arrested off the bat, which I think they're working on what they're going to, how that's going to play out, he's being watched and tracked. So anything that he's done. And it's crazy. As I said, just even up to this show, he's still going with it, just still going. I don't know. He just thinks he's like gonna, maybe he knows he's gonna end it though when they show up. And I don't know. I don't know what's good. I don't know what could possibly be going through that guy's mind with all of it. But I know it's game over. I know that much. Let's see here. We'll do one more caller here before we wrap up today's show. The Red, welcome to the Ryback Show. Hello. The bottom left.
Hello.
How are you doing, bud?
I'm sorry. I'm doing good. Ryback, man. I loved your match with CM Punk at Hell in a Cell when y'all was on top of the cell. I love when you was with Ryback. But I got one question, man.
All right, let's go.
Where do you plan on going? Like, be serious, be honest. Where do you plan on going?
It honestly is going to depend on how the conversations go with things. I think I told I got to get cleared. I need to be cleared so that anyone that I talk to, that there was no question. And I don't know if there's going to have to be private workouts there. I don't know what all that is going to entail on that end. All I know is I can only control what I can control. I'm going to be ready when those conversations take place, and I'm going to make sure and whatever needs to be done. And we'll see, I hope to be able to have conversations with AEW, and maybe have conversations with Impact, maybe a few other promotions, and just see. And I know I've told you guys the independent promotions are already sending things in. I'm not even cleared to go yet. They're booking out though for September, October, November, December shows. And it's very tempting to want to just go ahead and let's just start taking things. But I want to make sure that I get cleared, and so that I'm not canceling anything, because when I'm back, I'm back. So that's the first thing with the Chase situation, and keep working every day and doing the rehab and the wet cupping and get everything ready to get cleared. I want to get cleared going into August here. Like I'm really trying to have that deadline for myself. It's all just going to depend if this scapula gets released or not, which it's going to happen at some point, but we're just that's kind of the game plan. I'm very transparent with that. And obviously then once that process starts, and I want to have a conversation with Bill Goldberg as well on things, and just kind of see where he's at with everything, and see if that's something that can even possibly exist. I think I've got a lot of hype for something for sitting at my house and not even being in the game right now with everything. So we'll see. And if he has a different idea on it, there's no hard feelings, and I understand. But I just think right now it's one, get Chase put away and keep doing what I'm doing. And we're going to, the opportunity, no matter what, is going to be there no matter what. So that's
awesome.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you back in the wrestling world, and I'd love to see a match against you and Goldberg. I would love that, man.
Thank you, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to give it everything I have to try to make that a possibility. So thank you.
You're welcome, man.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good one. I appreciate you coming on today.
You too.
Take care.
Take care.
I appreciate all the love and support from all of you guys. Thank you very, very, very much. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Hold on. Let me see 1 second. Just taking a look at a few of the comments, making sure I didn't miss a super chat. Thank you guys to everybody at Ryback TV that contributed to the Ryback TV super chats today as well. Thank you to everybody on Twitter Spaces. You guys, if you subscribe to my Twitter, I follow all subscribers back. We keep growing on there, and it's very cool. I was contemplating just unfollowing everybody other than my subscribers, and I go, I don't want to. I keep putting, I go, that'd be pretty cool just to do that, but. I do follow all subscribers back on there. Thank you guys. You don't have to subscribe to be part of this show, but it's cool not being as suppressed as I was, where some people are seeing my content and seeing me, and they weren't allowing me to do subscriptions forever. Now they're allowing it. So thank you guys for showing your love and support on there. Don't forget, we have our Feed Me More Nutrition 40% off sale today till 4 p.m. flash sale. Discount code Independence40, Independence40, plus a free Feed Me More Nutrition shaker bottle. All the supplements and all the Ryback merch, 40% off, feedmemore.com. Thank you guys very much. Let's have a great one. Until next time, we'll be back tomorrow, guys. Stay hungry, my friends. Feed me more.
Hey, Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications for the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch. Visit feedmemore.com.